15 cruise dangers for seniors over 70 and how to outsmart everyone. Picture this. Margaret, a vibrant 74-year-old grandmother, had been dreaming about her Mediterranean cruise for years. She'd saved up, planned every detail, and couldn't wait to explore ancient ruins and sip wine overlooking the Santorini sunset. But on day 3, a simple misstep on a wet deck changed everything. As the ship's medical team rushed her to the infirmary with a fractured hip, Margaret realized she'd made one critical mistake. She hadn't prepared for the unique challenges that cruising presents to seniors. But here's the thing. Margaret's story doesn't have to be anyone else's fate. The next few minutes reveal the most dangerous situations seniors face on cruise ships, along with insider strategies that cruise lines don't advertise and travel agents rarely mention. These aren't typical pack sunscreen tips. These are battle-tested solutions from maritime safety experts, senior travel specialists, and thousands of experienced cruisers over 70 who've learned these lessons the hard way. Today's video isn't about scaring anyone away from cruising. It's about empowering seniors with knowledge that could literally save lives, or at least save vacations. And viewers should stick around until the end for information on getting a free printable senior cruise safety checklist to take on every voyage. Let's dive into the countdown of the 15 cruise dangers every senior needs to know about, starting with number 15. Danger. 15. Onboard emergencies. Fire, evacuation, severe weather. Those mandatory muster drills everyone complains about. For seniors, they're not just an inconvenience, they could be lifesavers. Consider Robert, an 82-year-old veteran who found himself in a real emergency situation aboard a cruise ship in the Caribbean. When the fire alarm sounded at 3 a.m., Robert thought it was just another drill, but the smell of smoke told a different story. As passengers rushed to their muster stations, Robert realized he couldn't remember which stairwell to use. The elevators were shut down for safety. His arthritis made climbing stairs painful, and the emergency lighting made it hard to read signs with his failing eyesight. Expert tip, Captain James Morrison, with 30 years of maritime experience, emphasizes, in an emergency, every second counts. Seniors often need twice as long to evacuate as younger passengers, but most don't account for this in their mental preparation. Action plan, attend every muster drill, even with previous cruise experience. Walk evacuation routes on day 1, timing at a comfortable pace. Keep small flashlights on nightstands and in day bags. Those with mobility issues should inform guest services immediately upon boarding. Practice putting on life jackets in cabins. Arthritis can make those buckles tricky. Never use elevators in emergencies, but know where evacuation chairs are located. Danger 14, lost or stolen. Travel documents. Sarah and Jim, both in their mid-70s, were having a wonderful time exploring the markets in Naples when Sarah realized her purse, containing both their passports, was gone. What followed was a bureaucratic nightmare that cost them 3 ports of call and nearly $2,000 in emergency document fees. The hidden risk. Many seniors don't realize that without proper documentation, they can be denied reboarding at foreign ports. Some countries won't even allow ship departure without a passport, effectively imprisoning passengers on board while travel companions explore. Expert insight. Travel security consultant Maria Rodriguez notes, seniors are specifically targeted by document thieves because they often carry everything in one bag and may be less aware of their surroundings in crowded tourist areas. Protection strategy. Make 3 copies of every document, 1 for the cabin safe, 1 for a travel companion, and 1 left with someone at home. Use money belts or hidden pockets for documents, never purses or back pockets. Take photos of all documents and email them to yourself. Register with the appropriate embassy or consulate before traveling. Consider getting a passport card as backup for certain destinations. Never hand passports to anyone except official immigration officers. Use the ship's safe for documents not needed that day. Danger 13, Norovirus and other shipboard illnesses. When 78-year-old Betty boarded her Alaska cruise, she never imagined spending half of it quarantined in her cabin. But Norovirus doesn't discriminate, and for seniors with compromised immune systems, it can be particularly devastating. Dr. Patricia Chen, an epidemiologist specializing in cruise ship health, explains, seniors face a triple threat with norovirus. They're more likely to contract it, suffer more severe symptoms, and take longer to recover. Dehydration from norovirus can trigger heart problems, kidney issues, and dangerous electrolyte imbalances in older adults. Real story. Betty's roommate had touched a contaminated railing and then shared snacks without washing her hands. Within 24 hours, both were violently ill. Betty required IV fluids and missed the glacier viewing she dreamed about for years. Defense protocol. Wash hands for 20 seconds with soap and water. Hand sanitizer doesn't kill norovirus. Use knuckles or elbows to push elevator buttons. Avoid buffets for the first 48 hours, when most outbreaks begin. Bring personal pens for signing receipts. Wipe down cabin surfaces with disinfectant wipes upon arrival. Never share food or drinks, even with travel companions. Report any illness symptoms immediately. Early treatment is crucial. Pack oral rehydration salts and anti-diarrheal medication. Consider bringing disposable gloves for high-touch areas. Danger 12. Limited communication and emergency contact access. When 73-year-old Frank's grandson was rushed to the hospital back home, his family tried desperately to reach him, but Frank was somewhere in the middle of the Pacific with no cell service and hadn't purchased the ship's expensive Wi-Fi package. It took 3 days for the message to reach him through the cruise line's emergency channels. The communication crisis. Modern cruise ships are essentially floating cities, but their communication infrastructure can be surprisingly limited. Satellite internet is expensive and often unreliable. Cell service disappears once ships are a few miles from shore. In family emergencies, passengers might be completely unreachable. Tech expert tip: digital nomad and senior tech advisor Tom Washington advises, don't assume staying connected like at home is possible. Even with ship Wi-Fi, video calls often don't work and connections drop without warning. Connectivity solution: purchase at least basic Wi-Fi packages for emergency emails. Download WhatsApp before boarding. It uses less data than regular calls. Give loved ones the cruise line's emergency contact number. Set up emergency contact protocols with family, specific check-in times. Consider satellite phone rentals for true emergencies. Download offline maps of all port cities before leaving home. Keep written lists of important phone numbers. Understand ship communication options before emergencies arise. Danger 11. Vulnerability to scams and theft in port. The taxi driver seemed so friendly and helpful. He even offered to take Dorothy, age 76, to a special local shop where she could get authentic souvenirs at local prices. 2 hours and $500 later, Dorothy realized she'd been scammed, charged 10 times the normal price for cheap trinkets, with the taxi driver getting a hefty commission. Crime statistics. According to port security data, seniors are 3 times more likely to be targeted by scammers and pickpockets than younger travelers. Why? Criminals assume seniors carry more cash, may be less tech-savvy, and might be easier to confuse or intimidate. Security expert warning. Former Port Police Chief Miguel Santos shares, criminals work in teams. While one distracts with questions or accidentally bumping, another empties pockets. They specifically wait near cruise terminals because they know exactly when ships arrive and leave. Anti-scam arsenal. Only use official taxi stands or ship-arranged transportation. Never follow anyone to special shops or restaurants. Carry dummy wallets with small bills and expired cards. Keep real valuables in money belts under clothes. Stay in groups. Criminals rarely target groups of seniors. Learn to say "no thank you" firmly in the local language. If someone grabs belongings, make noise, yell loudly. Take photos of taxi license plates before getting in. Avoid wearing expensive jewelry or watches in port. Trust instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Danger number 10. Digestive issues from overindulgence or new foods. Dr. Michael Foster still remembers the couple in their 70s who ended up in his ship's medical center after indulging in the midnight chocolate buffet. They'd never had such rich food available 24/7, he recalls. Combined with unfamiliar spices from the Asian fusion restaurant, their digestive systems simply couldn't cope. The digestive danger zone. Cruise ships are designed to tempt with endless food options. For seniors whose digestive systems may already be sensitive, this spells disaster. Different water sources, unfamiliar ingredients, and the tendency to overeat because it's included create recipes for gastrointestinal distress. Nutritionist warning. Registered dietitian and senior health specialist Linda Park explains, as we age, production of digestive enzymes decreases. We process fats more slowly. What might cause mild discomfort in a 40-year-old can lead to severe cramping, diarrhea, or constipation in someone over 70. Digestive defense plan. Stick to familiar foods for first 2 to 3 days while systems adjust. Avoid clean plate club mentality. Smaller portions are beneficial. Limit alcohol intake, which worsens digestive issues. Pack probiotics and start taking them a week before cruising. Bring antacids, anti-gas medication, and anti-diarrheal medicine. Stay hydrated. Aim for 8 glasses of water daily. Skip midnight buffets with acid reflux issues. Ask about ingredients with food sensitivities. Consider bringing fiber supplements for regularity. Don't mix cuisines in one meal. For example, sushi followed by pasta. Danger 9. Hearing or vision impairment overlooked. When the captain announced an important itinerary change due to weather, half the passengers in the piano bar didn't hear it, including 79-year-old George, who showed up at the gangway the next morning ready for a port day that wasn't happening. His hearing aids couldn't compete with the ship's background noise. The sensory challenge. Cruise ships are noisy environments with constant engine hum, music, and chatter. Important announcements may be muffled or distorted. Meanwhile, signage can be small, poorly lit, or placed too high for those with vision issues. Accessibility expert insight. Dr. Rachel Thompson, who specializes in senior travel accessibility, notes, "Cruise lines are getting better at accommodations, but passengers must advocate for themselves. Many seniors don't want to admit they need help, but missing critical safety information isn't worth preserving pride." Sensory strategy. Register hearing or vision needs with guest services immediately. Request written copies of all announcements delivered to cabins. Bring backup hearing aid batteries, lots of them. Pack magnifying glasses for reading menus and daily programs. Use cruise line apps for visual schedule updates. Sit near speakers during safety briefings. Travel with companions who can help relay information. Bring small flashlights for reading in dim areas. Ask for large print versions of important documents. Consider vibrating alarm clocks for wake-up calls. Danger 8. Sun exposure and severe sunburn. Margaret thought she was being careful. She applied sunscreen in the morning and wore a hat. But after falling asleep on her balcony for just 45 minutes, the 72-year-old woke up with second-degree burns that required medical attention and ruined the rest of her Caribbean cruise. The UV truth. At sea, exposure to 25% more UV radiation than on land occurs due to reflection off water. Many seniors don't realize certain medications, including common blood pressure and diabetes drugs, increase photosensitivity. Cloud cover provides false security. 80% of UV rays penetrate clouds. Dermatologist's warning. Dr. Sarah Kim, who treats numerous cruise-related sun injuries, explains, "Aging skin is already thinner and more vulnerable. Add medications, reflected UV rays, and the tendency to lose track of time while relaxing, and there's a perfect storm for severe burns. Some seniors have required skin grafts from cruise sunburns." Sun protection protocol. Apply SPF 50+ sunscreen 30 minutes before sun exposure. Reapply every 2 hours or immediately after swimming. Wear UV protective clothing. Regular clothes don't block all rays. Invest in good UV blocking umbrellas for deck time. Avoid peak sun hours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. when possible. Check if medications increase sun sensitivity. Wear sunglasses blocking 100% of UV rays. Don't forget often missed spots, ears, scalp, tops of feet. Consider sun gloves for age spots on hands. Set phone alarms as reapplication reminders. Seek shade regularly. Even 15-minute breaks help. Danger 7. Tender boat transfers and mobility challenges. The tender boat bobbed violently in the choppy waters off Santorini. As 77-year-old Helen tried to time her step from the platform to the boat, her knee gave out. If not for a quick-thinking crew member, she would have fallen into the gap between the boat and the platform, a potentially fatal accident. The transfer terror. Not all ports can accommodate large cruise ships. Tender boats, small vessels ferrying passengers to shore, present unique dangers: steep stairs, narrow doorways, wet surfaces, and the challenge of stepping between two moving objects. For seniors with mobility issues, this can be treacherous. Maritime safety expert Captain Rodriguez warns, "Tender operations are one of the highest risk activities for senior passengers. The boats are moving, the platform is moving, and timing that perfect moment to step across is challenging. Add arthritis, balance issues, or vision problems, and it's an accident waiting to happen." Tender transfer tactics. Always accept crew assistance. This isn't the time for independence. Wear shoes with maximum grip. Test them on wet surfaces at home. Skip tender ports if seas are rough or uncertainty exists. Go early when crews are fresh and crowds are smaller. Never carry anything while transferring used backpacks. Consider canes even if not normally used. Watch several other passengers transfer first to understand the rhythm. Inform crew of mobility issues before attempting transfers. Take seasickness medication 30 minutes before tender rides. Book ship excursions which often get priority tender access. Danger #6. Disorientation and getting lost on large ships. By day 4 of his cruise, 81-year-old William was confident he knew his way around. But after enjoying a wine tasting event, he took a wrong turn returning to his cabin. 3 hours later, security found him exhausted and confused on a crew-only deck, having walked miles in circles. The maze effect. Modern cruise ships can have 15-plus decks, multiple elevator banks, and corridors that look identical. Add similar cabin doors, changing lighting, and the subtle effects of ship movement on the inner ear, and disorientation becomes common. For seniors, especially those with mild cognitive changes, this can be frightening and dangerous. Cognitive specialist Dr. James Liu explains, ship environments challenge spatial memory in unique ways. The constant motion affects the vestibular system, making orientation harder. Combine this with identical-looking corridors and the stress of unfamiliar environments, and even sharp seniors can become confused. Navigation solution. Take photos of landmarks near cabins, artwork, signs, etc. Always carry cabin numbers written down, not just memorized. Use ship map apps on phones if available. Create consistent routes to and from main areas. Place distinctive markers on cabin doors, magnetic decorations. Travel with buddy systems after evening events. Wear watches to track walking duration. Ask crew for directions immediately if confused. Don't wander. Consider GPS tracking devices that family can monitor. Avoid alcohol with any history of confusion or memory issues. Practice routes during daylight when fresh. Danger #5. Overexertion and fatigue. I wanted to do everything, recalls 74-year-old Janet. Morning yoga, pool aerobics, cooking class, afternoon bingo, dinner, evening show, late-night dancing. By day 5, I collapsed in the dining room. The doctor said I'd pushed my body beyond its limits. The exhaustion epidemic. Cruise marketing sells the idea of endless activities, and many seniors feel pressure to get their money's worth. But the combination of constant stimulation, irregular sleep patterns, rich food, and more physical activity than usual can overwhelm aging bodies. Sports medicine physician Dr. Robert Chang warns, seniors often don't recognize fatigue until it's severe. On cruises, excitement masks exhaustion until the body simply shuts down. I've treated everything from stress fractures from too much dancing to heart arrhythmias triggered by overexertion. Energy management plan. Schedule at least 1 rest hour for every 3 hours of activity. Choose quality over quantity. Pick 2, 3 activities daily, not 10. Nap without guilt. Bodies need recovery time. Skip late-night events with early excursions. Listen to body signals before they become screams. Stay hydrated. Fatigue often masks dehydration. Don't feel obligated to attend everything signed up for. Use sea days for genuine rest, not packed schedules. Consider room service for some meals to avoid dining room treks. Bring comfortable shoes. Foot pain leads to full-body fatigue. Danger #4. Medication mishaps. The panic in Robert's voice was unmistakable. The 78-year-old diabetic had just discovered his insulin had been stored incorrectly and was no longer effective. He was 3 days from the nearest port with a pharmacy, and the ship's medical center had a different formulation that his body didn't respond well to. The medication minefield. Cruise travel presents unique challenges for medication management, temperature control, humidity, time zone changes, and the risk of loss or theft. For seniors taking multiple medications, a single mishap can cascade into a medical emergency. Pharmacy Director Lisa Chen shares, 3 main issues exist: seniors not bringing enough medication plus backup, improper storage destroying medication efficacy, and confusion about timing when crossing time zones. Any of these can turn a dream vacation into a medical nightmare. Medication master plan. Bring double the needed medication in 2 separate bags. Hand carry all medications. Never pack in checked luggage. Get a letter from doctors listing all medications and conditions. Use pill organizers and keep medications in original bottles. Set phone alarms for medication times adjusted for time zones. Research storage requirements. Some meds need refrigeration. Bring thermometers to monitor medication storage temperature. Pack all supplies, syringes, testing strips, etc., with 50% extra. No generic names. Brand names vary by country. Consider travel insurance that covers medication replacement. Take photos of all medications and dosages. Bring medication lists in the local languages of ports visited. Danger. 3. Rapid dehydration and heat exhaustion. The Mediterranean sun beat down as 76-year-old Carol explored the ruins of Ephesus. She'd had coffee at breakfast and a glass of wine with lunch, thinking that was enough fluid. By 3 p.m., she was dizzy, nauseous, and confused. Classic signs of heat exhaustion that required emergency treatment. The dehydration danger. As people age, thirst sensation diminishes. Seniors often don't feel thirsty until they're already significantly dehydrated. Add the diuretic effects of coffee, alcohol, and some medications, plus increased sweating in warm climates, and dehydration can strike quickly and severely. Emergency medicine specialist Dr. Mark Torres explains, seniors have less total body water and their kidneys don't conserve water as efficiently. On cruises, between the sun, wind, alcohol, and increased activity, dehydration cases appear daily. Severe dehydration can trigger heart problems, kidney failure, and dangerous falls. Hydration strategy. Drink water on a schedule, not based on thirst. Start hydrating 24 hours before boarding. Carry refillable water bottles everywhere. Set hourly phone reminders to drink water. Monitor urine color. Dark yellow means dehydration. Limit alcohol to 1 drink per day in hot climates. Avoid caffeine during shore excursions. Eat water-rich foods, fruits, soups, salads. Recognize symptoms: headache, dizziness, rapid heartbeat. Consider electrolyte supplements for hot ports. Drink 16 ounces of water for every hour in the sun. Choose shaded excursions during peak heat hours. Danger #2, unexpected falls and slippery surfaces. The statistics are sobering. Falls are the leading cause of cruise ship injuries for seniors, accounting for over 60% of medical emergencies. When 73-year-old David slipped on the pool deck, his resulting hip fracture not only ended his cruise, but required helicopter evacuation at a cost of $45,000. The perfect storm for falls. Ships combine multiple fall risk factors: constant motion, wet surfaces, unfamiliar layouts, dim lighting in some areas, and raised thresholds called lips between areas. For seniors already dealing with balance issues, medication side effects, or vision problems, it's a hazardous environment. Physical therapist and fall prevention expert Dr. Amanda White notes, on land, seniors can often compensate for balance issues. But add the ship's movement, and their compensation strategies fail. Experienced cruisers take devastating falls because they become overconfident. Fall prevention protocol. Pack shoes with maximum grip, test them on wet surfaces before cruising. Always use handrails, even when feeling steady. Take extra care during the first 48 hours while finding sea legs. Avoid pool decks when wet unless absolutely necessary. Request cabins near elevators to minimize walking distance. Use elevators instead of stairs when ships are moving. Keep nightlights on for bathroom trips. Sit down to put on shoes and clothes. Avoid carrying items that block floor views. Report spills or hazards immediately. Consider bringing canes even if not normally used. Take time rushing is the enemy of balance. Avoid walking during rough seas announcements. Stay sober. Alcohol significantly increases fall risk. Danger 1, inadequate travel insurance and medical coverage. Here's the nightmare scenario that tops the list. 79-year-old Barbara thought her Medicare Advantage plan would cover her cruise medical needs. She was wrong. When she suffered a heart attack off the coast of Alaska, her helicopter evacuation to Anchorage cost $75,000. The ship's medical treatment added another $15,000. Her insurance covered exactly $0. The coverage crisis. This is the #1 danger because it can turn any of the other 14 problems into financial catastrophe. Most seniors don't realize Medicare doesn't cover them outside U.S. waters. Standard travel insurance often has age limits, pre-existing condition exclusions, and coverage caps that fall far short of actual medical costs at sea. Insurance expert Jennifer Martinez reveals, seniors lose life savings over cruise medical emergencies. A simple broken bone can cost $50,000 by the time you factor in ship treatment, evacuation, foreign hospitals, and getting home. Without proper coverage, you're gambling with your financial future. Real horror stories. John, 77, needed dialysis at sea, cost $30,000 for emergency port return. Mary, 82, stroke required air ambulance from Caribbean, bill $125,000. Richard, 75, fell downstairs, needed surgery in Mexico, total $85,000. Insurance action plan, never cruise without travel medical insurance, period. Verify coverage includes medical evacuation, minimum $250,000. Ensure pre-existing conditions are covered, may require buying within 21 days of initial trip deposit. Confirm coverage works in international waters. Check age limits. Some policies cap at 70 or 80. Read fine print about alcohol-related incidents. Consider cancel for any reason coverage. Verify coverage includes getting home, not just to nearest hospital. Keep insurance documents in multiple places. Give copies to family members at home. Program insurance emergency numbers into phones. Understand the claims process before needing it. Consider annual policies for multiple cruises. Don't assume credit card coverage is sufficient. It rarely is. Post-pandemic cruise protocols. The cruise industry has changed significantly since 2020. New protocols that seniors need to understand. health screening changes, more extensive pre-boarding health questionnaires, potential testing requirements that change frequently, stricter policies on reporting illness symptoms, enhanced sanitation procedures using stronger chemicals, modified muster drills with virtual components, reduced touch points throughout ships, improved air filtration systems, modified dining procedures, senior-specific considerations. Some cruise lines now require vaccination verification. Medical certificates may be needed for certain conditions. Port requirements may differ from ship requirements. Masks may be required in certain areas. Ship medical facilities have expanded capabilities. Emergency response protocols have been enhanced. Cabin air circulation systems have been upgraded. Technology tools for safer cruising. Modern technology offers seniors powerful safety advantages. Essential apps. Cruise line apps with interactive maps and daily schedules. WhatsApp for low data communication. Medical ID apps that store health information. Google Translate for emergency communication in ports. Medication reminder apps with time zone adjustments. Safety devices, GPS trackers that loved ones can monitor. Portable door alarms for cabin security. Water bottle reminders that light up when it's time to drink. Wearable medical alert devices that work internationally. UV monitors that alert when sun exposure is excessive. Anti-theft backpacks with RFID protection. Accessibility hacks from experienced cruisers. Beyond standard accommodations, savvy senior cruisers recommend request shower chairs even in non-accessible cabins. Bring door stoppers to keep heavy cabin doors open while moving luggage. Use magnetic hooks on metal cabin walls for organizing. Bring extension cords with multiple outlets, non-surge protected only. Request tables near entrances and dining rooms to minimize walking. Book mini suites for more space and better bathrooms without full suite prices. Use pool noodles as bumpers around bed edges to prevent shin injuries. Bring your own grip bars that attach temporarily to shower walls. Use magnetic cabin locators that attach to door frames, creating your support network. Even independent seniors need backup. Before leaving, join cruise-specific Facebook groups for your sailing. Connect with other seniors on the same cruise. Share detailed itineraries with multiple family members. Establish check-in protocols with loved ones. Research medical facilities in each port city. Onboard, introduce yourself to cabin stewards and nearby passengers. Make friends with fellow seniors at onboard events. Attend senior social gatherings often organized by cruise directors. Find dining companions with similar interests and concerns. Connect with onboard medical staff early in the cruise. The empowerment message. Being over 70 doesn't mean giving up cruise dreams, it means cruising smarter. Every danger listed can be managed with proper preparation. The statistics are inspiring. More than 25% of cruise passengers are over 70, and 90% report having wonderful, incident-free experiences. Cruising remains one of the safest, most accessible ways for seniors to see the world, when armed with the right knowledge. Margaret from the opening, she implemented these strategies and just completed her 15th cruise at age 78. Knowledge didn't make her fearful, it set her free to enjoy every moment without worry. Next steps, download the free Senior Cruise Safety Checklist below. This printable guide summarizes all 15 dangers and solutions in an easy-to-use format. Share this video with every senior considering cruising. You might save someone from a medical or financial disaster. Comment below with your biggest cruise safety concern. The community of experienced senior cruisers loves helping newcomers. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for the upcoming video. 10 cruise lines rated best for seniors, the inside truth. Check out the playlist Senior Travel Safety for more destination-specific advice. The world awaits. With proper preparation, there's no reason seniors can't explore it all safely. Fair winds and following seas. Remember, the best cruise is a safe cruise.